Before we start, I need to warn you. What you're about to see is no game. These are sharp shards from Machiavelli's mind, tools that built empires and toppled nations. They aren't guidance for good or evil, but stark reflections of human nature when faced with power. If you proceed, do so with caution, as every word can cut deeper than you realize. Let's get straight to it. No one cares about you. This isn't an insult, nor an exaggeration. It's the truth you've always tried to ignore. You think your mistakes are scrutinized by everyone, that every move you make is under constant watch, as if the entire world is waiting for you to stumble. But the reality is different. People rarely remember their own failures, let alone yours. While you torment yourself over every choice, they simply move on as if you never existed. That's the first wound, realizing you are insignificant. Yet, in that very insignificance lies your greatest freedom. What you will discover in this video is not meant to comfort your conscience. These are knives cloaked in words, laws that many refuse to confront. When you grasp how power shifts, fear transforms. It's no longer others you dread, but your own reflection. If you choose to stay, brace yourself, because the 7 laws about to be unveiled could alter your view of the world forever. The first law: control perception. Tell me, how often have you felt that no matter what you say, do, or create, someone always twists the story and changes how others perceive it? That's the trap. That's the first law. Truth holds no power if no one believes it. What people accept as real, even if it's false, becomes their absolute truth. The frightening part is that their actions are driven by that illusion. Controlling perception is like wielding an invisible army. You don't need to display strength, you just need to shape what they believe. A simple act of indifference can make you seem invincible. A carefully timed smile can open more doors than endless arguments. A well-placed silence can spark more rumors than hours of speech. Perception is like a shattered mirror, each shard revealing what someone needs to perceive. If you master the art of directing those fragments, showing only the most convenient piece, you won't need to justify anything else. Consider symbols, a garment, a gesture, a word spoken at just the right moment. People don't analyze, they interpret. And in their interpretation, they project onto you what they wish to see. True control lies in becoming the blank canvas on which others paint their fantasies. But beware, the mask must remain constant. If you let it slip, if the seam is noticed, your image cracks and the entire illusion collapses. Building reputation is simple. Maintaining it is the real craft. Those who make their mask indistinguishable from their true self become living legends, and a myth, even a false one, holds more power than any raw truth. Second law: use people as pieces on the board. Listen carefully. The biggest lie we've been told is to believe in pure loyalty. Loyalty is smoke. Today, someone may swear fidelity to you, and tomorrow they'll sell you out for a crumb of power or a hollow promise. What does this mean? That your allies are not truly friends. They are mere pieces. Use them as shields when the storm hits. Let them believe they're winning, while in truth they're holding you up. And never make the mistake of eliminating enemies entirely. The presence of a visible adversary provides the perfect stage to showcase your strength. Without rivals, your victory loses its shine. Manipulating others is like conducting an orchestra. Some instruments sound soft, others loud, but all follow your rhythm. Encourage your allies to vie for your favor, while forcing your enemies to wear each other down to survive. Never let them realize that in the truth, they all serve your purpose. That is the board. The players think they choose their moves, but every step is dictated by the positions you've set for them. The most unsettling part is, they don't need to know this. It's enough that they believe they act of their own accord, when in fact your hands are guiding the pieces. Third law. Cultivate silence and mystery. Consider the power of silence. When others don't know your thoughts, desires, or plans, they fill that void with fears and assumptions. Mystery has a paralyzing effect. It's like walking through a dark room. Every shadow seems like a monster, every sound a threat. That's what you become when you choose to remain silent. The person who talks excessively reveals vulnerabilities, exposing weak spots. Conversely, someone who speaks just enough, keeping emotions controlled, becomes an enigma, difficult to read or attack. Mystery draws people in and keeps them at bay, creating a balance of fascination and fear. It draws people in because the human mind craves answers. It frightens because the unknown always appears larger, more formidable, more threatening than it truly is. You don't have to shout your intentions. Simply leave vague clues for others to interpret and unravel on their own. Your composed presence unsettles more than aggression ever could. Your steady gaze disarms more than words. Silence becomes your weapon. The doubts you seed become chains that others bind themselves with. Make yourself invisible, and suddenly, you are everywhere. Transform into an unassailable force, so that every word you speak is scrutinized as if concealing a secret code. When your mere presence stirs unease, and your slightest gestures appear as hidden messages, you will have attained the highest level of mastery. Become a living enigma, an entity impossible to conquer, for no one can discern where you start or end. Crave true power? Don't shout for it. Feel it deep within. Don't reveal it openly. Let others guess and wonder. Let silence be your voice, and mystery your strongest shield. That's where genuine transformation starts. When you cease to be merely human in others' eyes and become an unbreakable myth. Fourth law. Create dependency. The harshest secret of power isn't strength or admiration, but need. Those who depend on you can never truly betray you, for doing so would be a betrayal of themselves. Dependency is the most subtle yet strongest chain. It's not about giving everything, but about offering just enough: resources, influence, contacts, favors, even your attention, precisely what others crave. Give it gradually, drop by drop, never overwhelming them, so they always yearn for more. That's how you create a golden prison, where the victim perceives they're enjoying a privilege. The more they think they're receiving, the more they entangle themselves, and the tighter they bind themselves, the more vulnerable they become without you. Dependency isn't forced. It's cultivated like a sweet seed disguised as a gift. When someone believes their life would fall apart without your presence, that's when you've achieved the purest form of control. Fifth law. Rely more on fear than love. Love, gratitude, admiration, these are beautiful but fleeting emotions. Today they cherish you. Tomorrow they forget. Fear, however, is steady, profound, and relentless. Do not mistake this for cruelty. Fear should be administered like a slow poison, a subtle warning, a just consequence, an appropriate punishment. Never lash out in rage or act impulsively. Fear must seem deliberate, unavoidable, yet fair. Whoever loves may betray you if their heart changes, but fear keeps you anchored regardless. But those who fear your shadow won't even consider challenging you. It's a quiet, unseen tether that maintains order. Earn respect without inciting hatred. Intimidate without descending into cruelty. Keep this in mind. No one fears an unpredictable monster. They hate and want to destroy it. But everyone respects the silent force that, when it chooses to act, leaves no one unscathed. Fear, wielded like a surgeon's scalpel, becomes the most lasting instrument of control. Sixth law: divide to rule. A united group is a fortress. A fractured group is like sand slipping through your grasp. To hold on to power, never allow others to unite against you. Foster rivalries, plant seeds of doubt, and encourage comparisons. Let them compete for your favor. Distrust their allies, and never find common ground. Divide and conquer. This way, victory is assured before the first battle. Favor some, then others, shifting influence like a balancing scale, keeping everyone in perpetual uncertainty. Position yourself as the sole source of truth, because when others don't trust each other, your control becomes unbreakable. You are the only lighthouse they will look to. Controlled chaos isn't disorder, it's strategy. While everyone fights for their share of power, they lack the strength to challenge you. Ultimately, rivals exhaust themselves fighting each other, while you from above pull the strings. What appears as war to them is balance to you. That's your method, ruling not through unity, but through carefully planned division. When they hate each other just a bit more than they hate you, that's when you become untouchable. Seventh and final law: conceal your true aim. The greatest error of the naive is revealing their hand too early. Those who disclose their plans prematurely open themselves to attack, envy, and opposition. The secret is in disguise, using secondary goals to distract, partial objectives to intrigue, and half-truths that seem conclusive. Each move should look like the final act, when in fact it's only a step toward something much larger. Progress carefully. Create the illusion of openness, but never expose what truly matters. Surprise remains a powerful, destructive weapon. The enemy who believes they understand you grows complacent, drops their guard, and convinces themselves they can predict your next move. Just when they think everything is under control, that's when you strike. The real goal is exposed too late, when there's nothing they can do to prevent it. It's like a door slamming shut. By the time they realize it, they're already inside, caught in your trap, with no escape. Concealing